What's going on, beautiful people? I am Lee Hammock, the diagnosed self-aware narcissist known as mental illness, and this is another episode of A Narcissist Explains. In this series, I take my TikToks and YouTube shorts and make them longer. Today's episode is going to be about what a narcissist looks for in a person, what attracts a narcissist to you. Like and subscribe for more. Thank you. Hope you enjoy. This person is asking what makes a narcissist choose one person over the other. So this brings up the situation where a lot of people think that narcissists go after weak people. They go after people that are easy to manipulate. This can be true in some circumstances, but me personally, as a diagnosed narcissist, I need a strong person. I like strong, successful women, and independent women just do something to me. It's always been that way. Probably because I was raised by strong women. Every strong person in my life growing up was a strong woman. But other people, they might target people that are coming out of situations, coming out of marriages, of toxic situations that are vulnerable and things like that. With a lot of narcissists, the bigger you are, the harder you fall. Better you are doing in your life, the higher the esteem that comes to the narcissist for bagging you or for pulling you. Men and women and non-binary people. I feel like when you are dealing with a narcissist, who you are determines the direction the relationship goes in. If you have strong boundaries, the relationship goes nowhere. If you have weaker boundaries, then the relationship ends in a toxic situation. What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome back. So as you can see, narcissistic people, like I said, so every narcissistic person has their own type and own preference and whatever you want to call it. Me personally, I don't look like for weak women, weak men, whatever y'all looking for. A lot of narcissistic people are looking for people that are strong-minded and things like that. Some people like challenges. I think people just like, narcissists don't people only look for weak people. And y'all go on here and you see these people are not weak. They're high-powered doctors, attorneys. Some people are actually even therapists themselves dealing with narcissists in relationships and things like that. You see that. You see some of these people that teach you about narcissism have been through it. They have learned from it. They have been through it. But like I said, I think that physical attraction, of course, is going to play the number one in attracting a narcissist. Although looks are not that important to narcissistic people when they're looking for a supply or whatever. But I believe when you come to first meeting a narcissistic person, physical attraction is going to play a big role into that, right? Physical attraction is going to play a role. Then who you are, if you're attracted to the narcissist, who you are determines what direction the relationship goes in. That is what I truly feel right there. Because if you are an empath, super empath, Hakoya, there's just so many different types of empaths. Whatever type of person you are, who you are, if you don't have boundaries, you're going to go for a ride. So buckle up. Shout out, I Speak 1906. So buckle up and get ready for a ride. Because if you don't know how to set boundaries, no matter what position of life you're in, you can be a doctor, attorney, clinician, physician, whatever you are in life. You can be like the president of the United States, vice president, whatever. If you don't have boundaries, you are going to get taken advantage of by a narcissistic person, because narcissistic people look for people, they end up with people a lot of times that don't have strong boundaries. So your position in life doesn't matter if your boundaries are not strong. So you can be a strong, independent person from the outside, but internally, you have issues putting up boundaries and things like that, and then you end up meeting a narcissistic person. You just do. And to me, y'all, to me, this might not be true to a lot of y'all, but to me, there's a difference between weak and vulnerable. Weak is feel like you just broken down. Things have happened. You're just literally just weakened. Vulnerability comes, I feel like, when you come fresh out of a relationship, you don't know how to act. You don't not know how to act. You don't know what to do. Like, vulnerability comes like you in a moment of weakness, like you just got broke up with, you just got divorced and things like that. That's vulnerability. That right there, that will get you sucked into a narcissistic relationship where you will be putting up with things that you never put up with before. They'll change you. They'll change who you are. At your core, a narcissistic person will change who you are. You won't be the same person going into a narcissistic relationship that you will be coming out of it. You will be a different person. You just will. The longer you're in it, the more you change. Because the more you lose the essence of the person you were originally. That's just fact. That's factual. They're like, what articles you have to go talk to some survivors. I guarantee you, 99, if not 100% of people will say, I'm not the same person I'm not the same person I was when I went into this relationship. They just change you. They just do. It just does, because like I've talked to literally people who have gotten, I've talked to people who they've been married for 10 years, got kids and stuff like that, got cheated on one time by their husband, divorced their husband, right? The next person, because they're in this vulnerable state of getting out of that, the first person they meet when they get out of their marriage happens to be a toxic, narcissistic bastard. They end up together, the narcissist cheats on them, beats on them, does all this type of stuff, and that person puts up with it. The person who broke up with their husband or broke up with their wife or one time cheating puts up with way worse in the next relationship, because they were vulnerable coming into it. Because they was in a vulnerable state of mind coming into it. And it happens all the time. The strongest people you see when they get into vulnerable states, like, dang, I just got divorced. The family, I never thought I'd be single again. 10 years later, whatever. What's the world's going into this world? You go out, hot girl, hot boy summer, whatever you're going to call it. Meet a narcissist. You in for a ride. Because this person will ruin your life. And they don't think that and you can't blame them. To them, you can't blame it. You can't blame a narcissist for ruining your life, because they feel like you allow it. They feel like you didn't have to take me back. You divorced your ex after one time cheating. I done cheated on you 15 times. You didn't have to take me back. That's your fault. I didn't ruin your life. You did. So, because if you wouldn't have took me back, your life would not have been ruined. Correct? Correct? Is that not correct? That's how narcissistic people view it. If you have not taken me back, your life would not be ruined. So, correct? That's how they feel. They don't think they're ruining your life. They think you're doing it to yourself. So the more times you go back, the more times that they think it's okay how they're treating you, and the more time, the worse it will get. And the worse it gets, the more you lose yourself, because you're giving more and more to this toxic, narcissistic person, and the more you end up hurting yourself. And like I said, a lot of people end up blaming the narcissist to the narcissist. You complain to the narcissist about the narcissist, and they don't want to hear that shit. They're just like, bye. Leave me get out my face. Nobody's holding you hostage here. You can leave. But then you don't leave. So guess what? They take that as compliance to whatever, agreement to whatever they just said, compliance to whatever they have done. That's just the facts. They think silence and they think silence and you not leaving is compliance. It's permission to continue to do what they're doing. And the more times you take them back, the absolutely 100% worse it gets. You know what I mean? That's just factual. I keep telling y'all. Y'all keep taking these people back over and over again. Got kids involved. Keep taking. Y'all ain't married to these people. Stepkids, the fake stepkids, y'all take all these people into the relationship, breaking your kids now. I don't like to see my mama sad, but my mama keep going back to this toxic relationship. It's a pattern though, y'all. If I tell people, you have to you're not going to be the same person you were. But that's not a bad thing. When you come out of a toxic relationship, you can build back to have a stronger foundation, because now that you know about narcissistic people, you can have a stronger foundation. Because like I said, I was talking to one of my good people, Amanda. I think she said she was dealing with something else, a new relationship. She was in one of the most toxic, abusive relationships I've ever heard of. And I've had her on my YouTube channel a few times, on TikTok, friends, birthday twins, whatnot. She handling her business now. Anytime a man comes sideways to her, she just shuts him down. Nope, I ain't dealing with it. Boundaries. Now she has her boundaries go up quick. Bam, boundary wall. They're like, look, I'm just let me love on you a little bit. Boundary wall. Shout out to Amanda. Literally, boundary wall goes when they get mad. That's how it goes. Literally, she's building her stuff up. I'm telling you. But yeah. So who you are really, really does determine the relationship. So if you don't have any boundaries, people with strong boundaries, you're not going to have to deal with a lot of narcissistic people. You might have to deal with them in work situations. They might be your parents and things like that. But you won't have to deal with them in the relationships a lot, because you have strong boundaries. Then you're going to avoid a lot of narcissistic, toxic ass people, because they don't want to hear your boundaries. Like, is that a boundary you setting on me? You're unattractive. You're too masculine for me. Yeah, a lot of misogynistic, narcissistic men see women having boundaries as like, there's this. They call you masculine. If you have boundaries as a woman, they'll call you masculine. You're too masculine for me. That's masculine energy. There's too much masculine energy for me. I gotta go. You see? You're going to draw away the wrong people. You're going to repel the wrong people. Boundaries help you repel the wrong people and help you keep the right people inside. That boundary wall goes up. The right people are inside. The wrong people stay outside of it. So learn how to protect yourself and learning to say no is a boundary. You don't have to say yes to everything, y'all. You don't have to say yes to everything somebody else says to you. You just don't. You know what I mean? You really don't. You don't have to say yes. You don't have to agree to somebody. You don't have to agree with everything somebody else says to you. You can set your boundaries. You can say no. If it's uncomfortable, if it's going too fast, tap the brakes. Slow the hell down. I say that. I feel like I had to say that in every video. You got to tap the brakes in a relationship. The relationship brakes. Tap them. You can tap them. Tap the brake. Beep, beep. Skirt. You can hit the brakes, y'all. This is your car. You're driving this car as well. You can tap the brakes in this car. But yeah, who you are determines where the relationship goes. What attracts a narcissist, what repels a narcissist. Boundaries are the most important thing. Do some research on what boundaries are, because boundaries are for you. They are not for the narcissist. Boundaries are to protect yourself from stuff that you don't need to be dealing with, or stuff that you won't tolerate, or stuff that you will no longer tolerate. But anyway, y'all, thank you for tuning in to another episode. Like and subscribe for more. I really truly appreciate every single one of y'all. Turn on those notifications. Me and Ben Taylor are going live tonight on YouTube, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you. Mental Illness is out. Ben Taylor is another self-aware narcissist, y'all. Peace.